What's up guys, this is Ronnie. Welcome back to tutorial 13, and today I'll be going to talk about security groups. So this is the first tutorial on security groups. So rather than creating a tutorial on how to create security group, I thought of creating this tutorial on how to describe security groups, because we have already created our VPC. So whenever you create some VPC, by default some of the security groups are already associated with this thing. So I thought of just going to it will be easier to explain this thing like at the very first tutorial. So that is why I'm just going to start with the describe security group method first, and later on we'll go and see how we can create security group using create security group method. Okay, so without wasting further time, let me just move on to the next slide. So again, this is usual tutorial or usual thing, nothing special. So first thing, you have to install Boto3 as a prerequisite, and you have to install AWS CLI, and for both you have to use pip. And after that you have to configure your IAM user, and just make sure that you should take a backup of your access key and access ID and the security key. Okay, secret key. And after that you have to configure the IAM user whatever you created based on the access ID and secret key. Okay, once this is done, you are done actually. Then you can say your complete prerequisite steps are completed. Then you can perform and write your code, and you will get the result. So many of the cases, like I have like getting so many requests that my code is not working, and the error which you guys are sharing with me, it is easily understandable that you guys did not follow the steps or prerequisite. Okay, so just make sure to follow the prerequisite. If you're not familiar with this series, or you are watching this tutorial for the first time, so I'll highly recommend you guys to go and watch the first tutorial first. First means the tutorial number 1 first, then you can come back and watch the series again, because in the first tutorial we have clearly explained and perform all the steps, so it will be easier for you guys to just follow along with the video. Okay, so next is what is security group in AWS. So a security group acts as a virtual firewall for your EC2 instances to control incoming and outgoing traffic. So within your VPC itself a virtual network kind of a thing, and within that virtual network you can have a virtual firewall. Okay, so which can like control your incoming and outgoing inbound and outbound traffic. Inbound rules apply the control of the incoming traffic. Same way outbound rules will be going to control the outgoing traffic from your instance. Okay, so when you launch an instance, you can specify one or more security group, but if you do not specify any security group, so by default it will use the default security group. So let me open my AWS instance now. So if I go to my AWS instance, let me go here. So if you see here, I have already this many security groups. Okay, so this is for this VPC, this is for this VPC, and this is for like this one. Okay, the same VPC. So for this VPC we have this, and this belongs to this VPC, and this VPC for this VPC we have one, and this VPC we have one security group. So now I'll try to describe. For example, what is describe, you guys already know. So if I click in here, so we get some sort of like thing. For example, if I click on this thing, I get the name of the security group, so many things, right? I'll be getting. So I'll try to get all this thing programmatically from the Python. Okay, so that is why I'm just doing this thing. So what is the first use case? Let me open. How to describe security groups. How to describe it means no argument, no parameter, just simple thing. Okay, so probably where is my code? Okay, this is my code. Okay, so what I'll do, let me remove everything. Okay, so we'll do it from here. Actually, this is tutorial 13. Okay, heading, and we'll create one more like this. Then we'll create describe security groups using Boto3. Okay, that's it. So next we'll try to do the remaining part. So import Boto3 and like this. Okay, so this is going to be always the first thing. Okay, so you all know, right? So next thing is that let's create client. So this will going to be Boto3 dot client, and then it is going to be EC2. Okay, right? And after that, let me now just describe the what do you say, the security group. So for that thing, what will happen now, client and describe. So describe security group, so it will be here, describe security groups. Okay, so at this moment I will not pass anything, I'll just run this thing. So see, this is going to return all the security groups. Okay, so what will happen now, I just want to check how many security groups are there. Okay, so in my case, if you check here, what will happen, just wait, I have total, let me check, I have total 1 2 3 4 security groups, so the count should be 4. So what I'll do now, so let me assign this thing into a variable. Okay, like this, then run this thing, then run this thing x. Okay, so x is actually going to return one dictionary, and the dictionary has a key of security groups, and inside that key it is actually having one value, it is key, and this part is value. So value is actually basically consist inside a list actually. So what will happen, so I can write like this. Okay, okay, so what I'll do, number underscore of underscore security groups equals to this length of this actually. Okay, so let's see what is the length of this thing. So it should be 4 actually, so it should be 4. Now we'll try to iterate over this thing. Okay, iterate over this thing means I want to iterate over this thing, and I want to get the all security group ID. Okay, so let me do one thing, let me check what is the value of this thing. So see, so this is actually the key, I got this key actually, and this is the value part. In the value part, it's actually consists inside a list. So I'll be going to iterate through this thing. So what will be the ID, so group ID will be this one. Okay, so I need to actually iterate over this thing. Okay, so for group in, it should be here actually, right? So it should be like this. Okay, then group of, so group of group ID, this one. Okay, and what I'll do, I'll just going to print this thing. Okay, so this will print all the group IDs. See, I got all the group IDs. So let me just revalidate. So it's end with 9E1. So it's end with 9E1. Okay, so like this thing, just match one by one. So this is 2A, this is CA, this is CA, this is B9E, this is B9. I'm just not going to match each and everything, so definitely it will be going to be the same. Okay, so in this way you can just get all the security groups, and after that you can count how many security group, and also if you want you can just iterate over this thing. Okay, so this is very simple, but this is very useful. Okay, okay, so what I'll do, I'll just try to let me just minimize this thing. Okay, so let me just take a screenshot of the whole thing. Okay, so one use case is completed. So insert, and after that picture profile, it will be in the here actually. Yes, that's it. Okay, so next is that how to describe security groups using group ID. So here I haven't done anything. I just blindly get all the security groups, and after that I am just iterating over this thing. I just iterated over the overall result set. Okay, so what I'll do now, I'll try to create some sort of like condition that I just want to get the security group which is having this group ID. So that is going to be the condition. Okay, so for that thing let me copy this thing. Okay, then I'll put this thing, question mark, remove, then heading. Okay, simple. So client is this thing. So what will happen now, let me create X. Okay, so X is going to be client, okay, dot describe underscore security groups. So now we'll run this thing, we'll see how these things belong. So there is something called group IDs, so we have to pass this thing here. Okay, and this is going to be kind of a list actually. Okay, so this is going to be like this, and inside this string I can pass the different group IDs. So for example, let me just pass this security group ID. Okay, and let's see what is going to happen. So this is done, and now if I print this thing, so this is going to return the values for this thing. Okay, so let's just re-verify this thing. So I just passed the B9E1. So this is the B9E1. So what are the different attributes this is having? Everything came. So the name is this. Okay, then actually so many things. The owner, the outbound rules. The outbound rules are here. Inbound rules are here. SSH, TCP, port range 22. All things came actually. If you see, is permission from port range to this thing, TCP IP, everything is here. Then tags, I don't have tags, so tags will be nothing. Okay, so different things are coming, and the interesting thing is that this is actually list, so you can enter any other thing as well. So let me just pass this thing as well. So this is also going to return something. It is taking time, not sure why, but let's see. Still it is running, actually strange. Let's see how it is still running. Okay, some error actually. I'm not sure why this is running, so I have to stop this thing. Interrupt. Okay, so let me this I'm not sure this is the error or not, but let me just fix this thing now here actually. Okay, this is completed, and this is now going to return the value for 2. So this is 1, right, and this is 1, so total 2 until this 1, and from here to this actually 1, and this is usual response data. So in this way you can also, let me remove this thing, how to describe security group using security group ID. Means you have to just pass the security groups, and the value will be assigned inside this keyword argument. So group IDs equals to, and after that you have to use a list, and inside the list you have to use your values in the form of comma separated values, like just like normal list element. Okay, so nothing special. Okay, done. We'll put something here, picture. Okay, done. Now what will happen, next tutorial, how to describe security groups using some sort of filters. So now we'll use filters keyword argument to see how you can like get the values, like by creating some sort of filters could be anything. Like we'll use group name, so till now is group ID, so now we'll use security group name. Okay, so let's put on something like this, and then this, okay, this, and we'll upload now. Sorry, not upload, we're going to write the code. So same thing, X is going to be client dot describe underscore security groups. Okay, so see, here is something called filters. Okay, so inside the filters I will just take a copy of this thing. Okay, so like this, and what will be the names value and what is the value, I don't know, I have to just change it. Okay, so for that I have to just go through the documentation. So if I go to the documentation, if you see from the documentation, I'm just going to read this thing, and here it is clearly mentioned in the filters what are the different key value pair can come. So description can come, these things are can come. So I'm just looking for group name. Okay, so group name will be as group hyphen name. Okay, so it will be group hyphen name, right? Okay, so now what we'll do now, we'll put some sort of values. Okay, so value from where the value will come, we'll see it here. Okay, with the value will come, yes, security groups, and yes, so security group name is something this one. Okay, so let's try to run this thing now. Okay, so it is executed, and see I got this thing. Okay, so now what I'll do, if I just use default has I think 4 or 3, so let's see how many is going to be written. See, all defaults came actually. See, this is default 1, this is another default 2, this is another default 3, right? So there are total 3 default, 1 2 3 all came. So in this way you can like use your filter query to put this thing. So you can use group IDs as well. So we need to check actually what will be the corresponding thing. So it will be group ID. So if you can post group ID, but need to check group, and yes, ID hyphen, and after that you can just copy this thing. Simple, everything is going to be simple, nothing special. You have to just read the documentation and you have to just follow along, that's it. And let me just put one more thing here, copy. So now what will happen, it is going to return 2. Okay, it is going to return 2 security groups. See, okay, so the first one until this point, and from here to here 2, so 2 has been written. Okay, so that's it. Let me just take a screenshot of this thing. This is very easy tutorial, but you guys now understand why I actually created the describe tutorial first, why not the creation, because the security groups are already exist, so that is why I just thought of creating this tutorial first. Okay, so in the next tutorial we'll be going to see how you can create a security group using Boto3 and Python, and this is going to be very easy, nothing like nothing complex, and probably you guys will also feel comfortable for to understand this sort of tutorials, because we have already seen in the last tutorial how to create VPC. So only the name of the method will be changed, but remaining things are going to be same only. Okay, so that's it guys, that's all I believe. Yes, no more slides left, so all 3 use cases are completed. So carefully watch all the videos. So this is the 13th tutorial. So you guys seen we have almost uploaded more than 13th, I believe. Yeah, this is 13th tutorial. So many use cases are already covered. Just try to do some sort of practice, write your own code, try to build up some sort of use case, come up with nice and new innovative ideas. If you're not able to solve those ideas, or if you're already working in some project and where you need some sort of help, or you want to understand or need some clarification, please feel free to write me. I'll try to include all those use cases in our tutorial, or probably if the time does not permit, I'll try to answer your queries like via email or maybe WhatsApp. Okay, so that's it, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care, goodbye, and have a nice day.